So right here we have a little Congo line of measurement microphones leading to a speaker playing the pink noise, and this first one is a couple of hands away, near field. The second one extra far away, da da da. Why are we doing this? We're just going to demonstrate how what microphones are telling you they're telling you more about the room than they are about the sound coming out of the speaker. And as you can see, this salmon coloured one is the closest, and these all have the same smoothing applied to them. It just so happens that this first one is showing you a nice even linear phase through here, comes up a bit, goes back down, and never really deviates by 5 or 10 degrees. Gets a bit wonky there. And you can see by the second mic, your phase is pretty much the same as the other one for a while, and then it leaves up here, it leaves in the bass, deviates by at least 10-20 degrees, deviates up here in the treble. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it gets further and further apart the further back on the microphones you go. So here, a big dip down, tearaway still. This is the second furthest. Starting to jump around a bit more. By the time you hit the fifth mic, sorry, just happens to be called number 7 right here, you've got some major swingaways, some total 180s. And so that, you can see, is almost unreadable. You wouldn't even know what to do with it if you're trying to do phase align with phase manipulation and stuff like that. And here you can also see in the magnitudes, the first trace, got some calm activity through that range. Some general increases, a very small speaker. And a lot of them here, they all start around the same area. They've all got that same amount of bass energy. And just due to the obstructions and distance, they start doing different things, different slopes. This one's almost flat, but some chunker dunkers out of there. So nothing resembles that first energy from the closest measurement position. So why would I go through this demonstration of something that you might think is obvious? Well, I'm trying to show you that in most circumstances people are measuring at least 1.5 meters, a meter maybe at the closest. So most people are at best starting from this far away, measuring something, and it's not really telling you about the source. These mics back here, they're telling you about the environment, the interactions, the energies that made it here. Not the sound of the source. Like, we can go over here and listen. Oh, that sounds like a nice pink noise. We go over here and listen. That sounds like a nice pink noise. We go over here and listen. And while you're sitting here, you don't think, oh my god, that's a scooped pink noise. Your brain can compensate. And I don't know if microphones will ever replace how we hear, because I've already done demonstration of removing all my left-right corrections and then all of a sudden gaining 10-15 centimeters of depth, and it still sounds fine, and like SQ and all that sort of stuff. So we don't always have to EQ out the differences for positional changes in distance from our speakers. And on the other note of phase, I went through a process, and it'll be coming up soon, where I just asked myself, how can I make the inherent inability of microphones to tell us what's going on to help me? And the only way I could do that was just a light bulb moment. I'll put the mic array directly down the center of the car, and that way, if anything is being told to me falsely about a speaker's distance or phase, it'll be telling me both the same amount of incorrect information for both sides of the car. And that's how I've done my bass tune and that's how I've gained like another foot of depth. It's just gone ballistic, and I'm going to be trying to make a series of these videos just to try and open our minds to not believing a microphone. And the whole notion of room correction has basically spun off the idea that you're sitting in a room. You're sitting in the middle or somewhere symmetrically, left to right, and you've set your speakers up symmetrically in a room. So it might become the anti-room correction, you know, rant from me, but it's more, if you want purity of a soundstage, then how about just thinking about these things?